Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today we're going to be looking at entry points and exit points, or exit points actually. And the thing that you're going to need to know about this is that the method I'm showing you now, there will be other methods dependent on the chart formation that you're looking at. And even the method I'm going to show you right now is going to have variations. People will actually have variations on this concept. So let me give you the basics and the logic behind it. First off, if you're in an uptrend, you're going to see a series of higher highs and higher lows, right? That's what you're going to see because that's what's going on. You have an uptrend going on. So if you have a series of higher lows and higher highs, then you're a bull and you're looking to buy the dips. That's the strategy there. We'll look at a downtrend in a moment, but overall, if you're looking at a series of higher highs and higher lows, you're looking at an uptrend. You want to be a buyer, so you want to buy those dips, and then you want to know, when do I get out? Well, the easiest method for me is when I look at them, I say, okay, if I'm going to make higher highs and higher lows, I'm in an uptrend, and I bought a higher low, like we did back here 14 days ago, then I'd be looking at this high of 60 and 98, the previous high, as being my target. So price activity advances up here, and at this point I'd be looking to exit. It doesn't have to be exactly 60, 98. I'd be advancing my stop as we get closer and closer to it. But the strategy is simply to use the previous high in an uptrend as your exit target. Now some guys will not do that. What they will do instead will be to set a stop, or not a stop, but a resistance line at that level, and once they've broken out through there, then they'll sell, figuring that that's the higher high that you're supposed to get, and then they'll wait for the next pullback as an opportunity to go buy again. However, not every case will actually give you a higher high. Sooner or later, the uptrend will fail, right? So even if the uptrend fails, my method allows that it will still try, it will test that high. So in the advance, let's say you have, let me clean that chart up. Let's say you have a situation where she had been advancing, pulling back, and then she advances up here and fails to break out, and instead reverses back to turn the uptrend to a downtrend. In my method, you would actually still make a profit, as opposed to waiting for this breakout here that never actually happens. So that's something else you may want to take note of. Also, in many cases, whenever you have, let me clean that up again, whenever you have people who are waiting for this breakout, right, they bought here and they're waiting for it to break out to new highs, right? So it comes out here and breaks it to new highs, and they're going to look for an opportunity to sell. A lot of times she'll simply gap back down to the same level that I would have been taking my profit at to begin with, and you never got an exit at this level to begin with. If you're waiting to get the very max amount of money you can out of it, you're really increasing your risk there. So the easiest way from a trader's perspective is to simply, on your uptrends, target your previous high. As long as you're in an uptrend, that will provide a lot of opportunity for you. Now, this is going to work with a situation that we have here, like a chart that's simply in a basic uptrend. But in some cases, you're going to have overall chart patterns that you may be analyzing, and a lot of times with those, you can get a measurement of how high you expect price to go. For example, inverted head and shoulders pattern can give you a target for how high price will go when it breaks out. Head and shoulders pattern can give you a target based on, once it breaks out, how low you expect it to go. So there are other methods as well, but this is the one you'll see me use at PerfectStockAlert.com all the time. Okay, when you're looking to sell, or you're in a downtrend, you would be looking to sell. Have a chart here, and I'll show you how we find our targets on this one. It's the same exact thing that I just showed you on the bullish perspective. It's just inverted or flipped upside down on its head. Here you had an uptrend going on, continued for a while, and then you'll notice you had a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? Just got pulled all the way back down here. So the trend shifted from the uptrend to a downtrend. Now you're in a downtrend. She advances up here, testing the previous high, does not break out, and now you're looking for your sell opportunity. Here you get a reversal signal here, so you can short here or sell. So you're looking at this wondering, where do I get out? And the answer to that is the previous low. That's where your target's at. If you're in a strong downtrend, you're going to make lower highs and lower lows. So the concept would be to wait for prices to pull back down to the previous support line, the previous area that you found some support. And that's going to be what you're expecting. Now, in these cases, don't wait for the very minimum maximum that you can possibly make, the very best you can do. You may get it, you may make a lower low, but protect yourself. You made all of this money on the downside. There's no sense in seeing price activity reverse like this because you were waiting for this very maximum gain right there. As she continues to move down, then start advancing your stop loss limit that you would have started with way up here. Start moving it down and protecting some gains, especially on this big down day. Start advancing those stops, and if she keeps moving lower, that's great. You may actually get a lower exit opportunity like you did back here. But if she reverses on back to the upside, you want to capture some of that gain. So that's the strategy there. Always use the targets as targets and targets only. They're not something set in stone. Okay, so back here you got this uptrend going on. You got a nice buy opportunity here. That's your target right there. You hit that and not too much of a hassle right there. Took that out, no problem. Reverse back to the downside and still higher series of lows, higher series of highs. You got another buy opportunity here. Again with the target here. You advance up here, come close to it, but you don't actually hit it. So if you were waiting for that exact maximum return, you're probably not going to get that. So you got to be advancing those stops as you continue moving higher. Pulls back here, gives you another opportunity maybe at this point to take you back to here, and then you reverse to the downside. Once you're in the downtrend, you wait for opportunities to pop up and price activity go short. You can short it and expect price to test the previous low. Pulls back down, advance the stop, take your profits. One of the telltale signs you may find whenever you're looking at situations where you've got price activity, in this case it's selling off, coming back down towards the lowest low, and you might be thinking, well, is it going to make it or not? Look up at your whatever oscillator you may be using. I'm using the Ultimate Oscillator, and here you can see that she became extremely oversold down below the 30 line as she was approaching that lower low down here. And that's a sign that you're getting oversold, and you can start looking for a jump to the upside on that, and that could be a warning that you may start to see a reversal from the downtrend back to an uptrend, because you'll start to form what's known as higher series of lows, and that can end up forming a higher series of highs later on. So you got to be willing to just move with price activity. As long as price is working with what you believe you're seeing, stay with it. But when it starts to fight it, there's a reason. Okay? Now you know. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.